Yeah, everything's open. All right. Things that must go now, brought to you by.
Looking for fun gift ideas for the holidays? Check out Haster Games for board games, Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, miniatures, dice, paints, and more. Located at 6831 South State and online at hastergames.com.
From Hell Show.
These are things that are bugging the hell out of you. You can't stand it no more. You've had all you can take. You can't stand it no more. And so you think, how can I get these things out of my life? I know. I'll send an email to Radio from Hell at x96.com. And if they mention mine on the air, maybe it'll make me feel better. And maybe even these things might disappear from your life. We can only hope. So let's go. Well, why don't you go first, Gina?
Okay, we've got one here from our friend Tony, who often sends us things that must go. Thank you, Tony. My things that must go are the boat mechanic ranting that pigeons are useless. While we aren't happy as they poo about town, and pooing about town is...
Poo about town
is a phrase I enjoy.
Oh, it's a book I'm working on.
Birds do things that benefit us. They spread seeds, eat bugs. They can be quiet pets. What woman in a post-apocalyptic world wouldn't like to get a romantic note from a homing pigeon? Wouldn't that be fun?
Sure would.
May need them someday.
Let's see. Tony also says slave labor used to produce coffee and chocolate. That if you watch that Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, he does a whole thing on chocolate there that will make you not want to eat chocolate. He says, why didn't Tim Ballard liberate those children that are farming coffee and chocolate instead of hanging out with celebrities?
Well, because we all know why.
And also, things that must go, only getting one day of Chainsaw Guy on the show this year. He could have given advice about love, international diplomacy, and what kind of car to upgrade to. Well, a Chevy, of course.
Yes.
That's the one.
That Corvette over there.
This from Johnny B's girlfriend, things that must go, the freight train that parks across 17 South every single rush hour. Can my tax money please build a bridge over this thing?
I wonder why that is.
And finally, this from Kirk, the only liberal living in Utah County. Kirk, you better come down here and see us if this is true.
The only liberal.
Oh, you got Molly Mormon, too. I mean, she's here.
Let's see. Kirk says, illuminated electric billboards must go. Yes, they can charge multiple organizations and businesses for a few seconds cycled through on the freeway, but is it effective? For example, I'm driving on the freeway. I see an ad pop up. What do I see? Some catchphrase. Oh, wait, now it's gone. I can't read it anymore. Yeah. They go too fast.
That's why radio is your best investment.
Yes.
That's right. Because radio is fundamental. I'll go next. Let's see. This one says, good morning. My thing that must go is people who come up on a red light and stop 20 feet behind the car in front of them or 20 feet from the line in a turn lane. So you miss the chance to turn if you're behind them because the lights don't sense there are cars there and it skips your turn. Why must they do this? It drives me crazy. Thanks. Let's see. This one says, thanks for letting me listen. I'm a pharmacy technician, and my thing that must go are insurance companies that think they know what medication a patient should take instead of what the doctor has prescribed. Who has gone through years and years of education? This is so stupid. Yes. This is probably my pharmacist. And then finally, this one, thanks for letting me listen. Long time friend of the program. You can use my name. Two things on my must-go list this week. First, when the cleaning crew in the office refills the toilet paper dispenser and does not bother to start the new roll. So I am stuck there for 20 minutes trying to twist my hand up into the dispenser at an almost impossible angle where I can only reach the roll with one or two fingers. And when I finally manage to start a small strip to provide many small strips of toilet paper at a time while making a tear in the roll that continues to dispense a cropped portion of the roll despite pulling it from every manageable angle. Please make this go away. I have a hard time standing up afterward because at this point my legs have gone numb from sitting so long. And second, when using the office restroom facilities capable of multiple patrons at the same time, under no circumstances ever try to start a conversation with me while I'm sitting in a stall. Unless the building is burning to the ground and I have seconds before suffering a miserable death in a towering inferno, there's absolutely no reason to attempt striking up a conversation with me. If you're guilty of doing this, you should have your head examined by a professional as soon as possible. I don't know what I would do without Radio from Hell on X96. You've been a part of my life for so long, it's hard for me to remember what my life was like before. Make it a double, leave the bottle, love your show, love you all, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy. All right, I'll start with the one from the foot of Mount Doom, and we're gonna save some lives here.
We are.
How's that?
We're going to, well, it's time for a redesign of something that I think everyone is familiar with.
Okay.
The standard glass deviled egg dish that everyone either has
Okay.
seen. It has spaces for 12 halves.
Yes.
No right-thinking person is only going to bring 12 halves of deviled eggs to a party. Even if you have 2 of these dishes, how do you manage them? You can't stack them on top of each other. It'll squish the filling. One person can easily eat 3 to 6 halves,
Yes.
and that's showing restraint, I'll add.
Okay.
You basically made enough for 2 people when you only bring 1 dish. Deviled egg dishes need to have at least enough spaces for 24 halves. Now, the cookie sheet that we used held 38 halves for a party with 15 people, which we found to be the perfect size. Everybody got as many as they wanted. You're welcome.
Cookie sheet.
All right.
Okay.
So redesign the deviled egg.
You get.
very
They used to have a really nice Tupperware one.
It was double stacked,
Yeah,
right? Wasn't it?
yeah, with a sealable lid.
I remember, yeah.
And a handle.
See, we need to go back to these old designs.
Yeah.
This one from, let's see, does not say I can, Kimball says feel free to use my name. Robocalls must go. We all know them. We all hate them. Many of us wonder who could possibly fall for them. The answer is the elderly, and according to a deep dive investigation by the New York Times a few years ago, that sings to the tune of multiple $billion every year. What must go is the constant drive by scammers to find a better tactic to fool the elderly into falling their scam. Here's the newest one that I've noticed. Phone rings. Me. Hello? Scammer. Hi, this is generic Anglo-Saxon name
Scott.
with generic, vaguely official-sounding business or government agency. Me. Scammer. You asked me to call you back. Do you remember?
No.
I'm a millennial, which means I never ask anyone to call me back. I prefer no one calls me in the first place. But the elderly person who might have been having trouble remembering who called them the other day could easily be fooled by this deceitful tactic. I hope these folks live to a very ripe old age so that they, too, may one day be scammed out of their savings. Thank you. This one from Julie. The guy that poured a drink down my partner's back and chair at the Depeche Mode concert.
Oh, no.
He apparently didn't like that my partner got up to dance to a song. Extended family that know that we are reasonable liberals, but they wear their Trump hat when visiting our home.
On purpose.
On purpose. This right after Trump called us all vermin and plans to put us in camps if he is elected. He has said that. Broken refrigerators and repairmen that say they are, I'm getting the part that you need, I'll come back to install it. It'll be fixed by Thanksgiving, and then he ghosts me. Yeah. And this one from Timbo. Wet streets in movies or TV shows. Have you ever noticed, and this is true, that the streets are frequently wet in movies and TV shows, even in L.A. where the rain is rare? It's interesting that the streets are wet, but the cars and windshields are not wet. I saw a movie, Shooter, with Mark Wahlberg. There's an aerial view as part of the movie, and one can see that the airport tarmac was dry, except for a wet square of pavement in front of the airplane hangar that this was in the previous scene. And it's true, they do that, Timbo, because it looks cool.
Yeah, you get the lights reflecting off the.
Yeah, that's the reason they do it. So there's your list of things that must go.
Things that must go on the radio.
From Hell Show.
Adding that to my movie and TV list of things that must go. That starts with the empty coffee cup.
Oh,
Yeah, or the empty bag of groceries.
The empty bag of groceries is there, but it's really the empty Starbucks cup. Actors, for some reason, cannot act like they have fluid in their cup.
Yeah, as
Or
I've
put
said,
fluid in the cup.
I've said before, when I was doing a lot of work on stage, I said I need liquid in this. It needs to be in there.
Exactly.
Bourbon needs to be.
Bourbon. Oh, bourbon. Traffic, Gina, please.
We do have a crash in northbound I-15 milepost 302 in Salt Lake County. The left shoulder affected there. Also a crash northbound Bangor Highway SR 201 in Salt Lake. Right shoulder affected there. And if you are a traffic hipster and want to be part of our Infinity team, all you need to do is text us 33986 and tell us what you're seeing out on the roads. Experience the magic and enchantment of Cat and Cauldron, your premier destination for all things occult and metaphysical in Taylorsville, catandcauldron.com.
Let's see, we've got boners coming up as per usual. Even though we're on location and taking donations to the road home, we keep the boner candidates going. Here are the ones you'll be voting for. Number 1, she stabbed him with a rabies needle. Boner candidate number 2, An elected official, dumb as a bag of rocks. And number 3, another politician, this one dumb as a sack of hammers.
Boner of the day, big boy news, all coming up. Stand by for that. UtahAdvocates.com.
God forbid you get into an accident this holiday season. I mean,
Driving too fast on wet and snow-covered roads. That's
somebody crashes into you. It's not your fault. And what do you do? Well, you call the advocates because they can help you if you've been hurt in an accident or if there's a lot of property damage that wasn't your fault. And the advocates won't charge you any money out of pocket.
Ever.
They don't charge you for the call, the consultation, and if they take your case, they only get money when they get you a settlement.
And when we're telling you to call, we're telling you to call 801-355-5550, and that's 24/7/365. If this happens on Christmas, you can call them.
And it's an attorney you'll be talking to, not a secretary or a paralegal or a gatekeeper. It's a real attorney.
And if it's somebody in your house, you can call on their behalf as well.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. You're not suing anybody. You're just getting what you deserve. 801-355-5550 or UtahAdvocates.com.
X96.
Hey, listen up. You're
up at Costco. How much were they for these long coats?
$14.99.
$14.99 for these really nice long warm coats.
That's cheap.
That is terrific. So, again, there's that Costco up on top of the hill. You can hit it on the way down to see us and make the donation to the road home. Also, Molly Mormon responsible for. If you go to x96.com/live,
Is it on there? Okay, let's see.
you can see this sash
see it?
that Bill got. That Molly Mormon made. It's a rainbow sash, and it says "Best Utah" on it.
I'm gonna have to trim my beard. It's covering up the best Utah.
Now she brought you a sash and a tiara, which I think you need to wear both of those things to the City Weekly Best of party.
Well, okay, but then I need one more thing.
What's that?
A wand with a star on
Okay.
the end of it.
All right.
Wand is easy. You just take aluminum foil and wrap it around
A what?
itself. You
A
just,
drumstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what, I think a wand of some sort.
I'm sure there's a Target or something nearby.
So that I can just, walk around the banquet going, I'm the best Utah, and I bestow you with good luck.
With bestness.
But you come
Yes.
down and see Bill's sash in person here at Larry H. Miller Chevrolet in Provo.
All right. It is time now for Boner of the Day. 3 news stories. These are examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior. You will decide with your vote. Of these 3 candidates, which one is the worst? Which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today? It is the 29th of November, 2023. We'll give you 2 candidates now, a third after the news, and once you've heard all 3, you will vote. One of you lucky random Boner voters will receive.
I can't buy it. Got to win it. Radio from Hell Boner T-shirt.
Here's boner candidate number 1. She stabbed him with a rabies needle. A Florida woman was arrested Saturday after she stabbed her long-term boyfriend in the eye with a rabies needle meant for their dogs, according to police. Sandra Jimenez was taken into custody on a charge of aggravated battery following a call to the police, according to an arrest affidavit obtained by somebody. Jimenez's boyfriend of 8 years told police that he and his girlfriend were in an ongoing argument over him looking at another woman. Look at another woman, I'll throw you. I'll stab you in the eye with a rabies needle. The boyfriend was lying on the couch at their residence when Jimenez jumped on top of him and stabbed him with 2 needles, one piercing the right eyelid, the affidavit said. Not immediately clear why she had the needles at home. Florida state law says that dogs, cats, and ferrets must be vaccinated against rabies by a licensed veterinarian. Police said that Ms. Jimenez fled the scene and her boyfriend called 911 at Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami. The boyfriend gave officers a description of his girlfriend along with her vehicle, and they didn't have any trouble finding her. They found her sleeping, Ms. Jimenez sleeping in her car, and she was taken into custody. Jimenez allegedly told arresting officers that her boyfriend's injuries were self-inflicted. She's pleaded not guilty. Yeah, he stabbed himself in the eye with a rabies needle. Boner candidate number 1, she stabbed him in the eye with a rabies needle. Here's boner candidate number 2, an elected official dumb as a bag of rocks. Representative Kevin McCarthy was fact-checked about American history after saying the United States, quote, never asked for any land after winning wars in a social media post.
Really?
Think for one moment.
Yeah.
In every single war that America has fought, McCarthy said, we have never asked for land afterward except for enough to bury the Americans who gave the ultimate sacrifice for freedom. McCarthy, the Republican who was ousted as Speaker of the House last month, posted Sunday night. Critics pointed out the United States won large parcels of present-day territory, including McCarthy's home state of California.
Say, he doesn't even know his state's history.
After victory in wars with Mexico. Jesus. The Mexican-American War, for instance, ended in parts of Arizona, Colorado, California, Nevada, New Mexico, and Utah being handed over from Mexico to the United States. Washington won the Philippines, Guam, and Puerto Rico during the Spanish-American War, though the Philippines has since become independent. A community note on Twitter fact-checked McCarthy's post, and the note says, the U.S. has acquired numerous territories through conflict, including 1848, Mexico ceded 55% of its territory.
Yeah.
Spain ceded Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines.
2 things. First of all, that's not McCarthy that we have on x96.com/live. That's
Who is it?
Foghorn Leghorn.
I say it's a joke, son.
The guy from Louisiana, the Kennedy.
Oh, well, he's next.
He's next. So you've got the pictures mixed up. Secondly, all I have is Nebo School District grade school. And I knew when McCarthy said that, I knew that he was wrong.
That's because you live near Spanish Fork,
Yes.
the Dons. You live where
Yes.
Father Escalante.
Yes.
Good Lord. So coming up, boner candidate number 3. So McCarthy is pretty dumb.
He's dumb.
Well, as another politician, this one is dumb as a sack of hammers.
Mm-hmm. All right. Boner candidate number 3 coming up after this big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by.
Hey, didn't Larson HVAC come to your house yesterday?
They
Bill?
did indeed. They installed a humidifier. What great people. You know, they put on little booties before they come into your
That's
house.
nice.
And they're really terrific people, and they put in a humidifier. And I already feel better.
Will your furnace and plumbing make it through the winter? Larson HVAC and Plumbing is REAM Pro certified. Get their $96 furnace tune-up and free water assessment and 10% off your first service. Visit larsonhvac.com/x96.
They're the best.
News.
All right.
Oh, that's movies.
That's okay. Where's Sean? Sean Diddy Combs has temporarily stepped down as chairman of his cable television network, Revolt. I had no idea. Amid multiple sexual abuse allegations against him. Excuse me. Revolt announced Combs' decision on social media on Tuesday. It's not clear when he will return to his media company, or if he'll return, which said Combs previously had no operational or day-to-day role at the network anyway. The decision helps to ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on our mission to create meaningful content for the culture and amplify the voices of all black people throughout this country and the African diaspora, the network said in the statement. Combs is a founder of Revolt. He declined to comment further on the matter. And The Late Show has been canceled this week because Stephen Colbert's appendix burst, which is very serious. The Late Show is being suspended for at least a week as Stephen Colbert's appendix burst and he had to undergo emergency surgery. All of the shows are canceled as he recovers, but he managed to make light of the situation by saying, going forward, all emails to my appendix will be handled by my pancreas. He said he's grateful to his doctors for their care and to Evie and the kids for putting up with me. It was going to be a big week for the show, too. He had Baz Luhrmann, Jennifer Garner scheduled, Patrick Stewart, Kelsey Grammer, and also his former. Now I don't. So it says the return of his former show band leader John Batiste. Now I don't know if that means he's coming back to lead the band or he's coming on.
Just a guest.
He's got a documentary.
Yeah,
that's probably it,
that he's produced.
Probably to talk about that.
Which is apparently really good. And he also had scheduled Barbara Streisand.
Oh,
so that'll
because he was asked to do the intro and
her
credits of her book. He said, "I don't know why she picked me. I've never met her. You know, we don't have any sort of
That is
relationship."
interesting.
She just said, "Yes,
She
I want
likes
Stephen
you."
Colbert."
Yeah.
The social media giant TikTok has filed an emergency appeal with the Utah Supreme Court, seeking to delay a hearing later this week where the company could be found in contempt of court. The motion for emergency relief obtained by Fox 13 News on Tuesday, I believe Ben Winslow was behind this story, pointed out a December 1st deadline for TikTok to comply with the judge's order that it hand over documents to the Utah Division of Consumer Protection, which has had an ongoing investigation into the company. But TikTok has also asked for a stay in the legal proceedings while it appeals the judge's ruling to a higher court. In absence of a stay, TikTok will be compelled to turn over the very documents and information that are the subject of the appeal, depriving it of much, if not the bulk of the value of its appeal, said their attorney, Dino Himonas, who is a retired Utah Supreme Court justice and neighbor to Gina Barberi.
It's true.
Utah Division of Consumer Protection has an ongoing investigation into TikTok and took the company to court, accusing it of not complying with subpoenas. A judge sided with the state and ordered TikTok to comply, lest it be held in contempt. So we'll see where that goes. Here you go, Gina. Story for you.
Okay.
Authorities in Michigan are investigating after a body was found in the ventilation system at a Macomb Community College building. I think that's how you say it, Macomb. According to the Macomb College Police Department, the body was found Sunday night in the vents after reports of a foul odor at the
It's been there a while.
at the Macomb Center for the Performing Arts. The body was identified Monday as 36-year-old Jason Anthony Thompson.
Was he breaking in or out?
He was reported missing on November 1st. The Macomb County medical examiners working to determine how Mr. Thompson died, although Macomb College Police Department Chief William Levins says he does not suspect foul play. At this point, it's important to remember this is an ongoing investigation. They apparently he'd been reported missing, but nobody could find him until somebody said, "What's that smell? We better find out what that is."
So I was going to say, this is not a place you want to store a body.
No.
No. Not in a ventilation, no.
Let's see. Let's move to this story. A new study by researchers at the University of Florida and University of South Carolina found that most school shootings involving adolescents do not result in mass casualty events. The study also said there is likely a parallel between school gun violence and broader community violence. Researchers analyzed 253 school shootings spanning 26 years. In most cases, the kid who brought the gun to school brought it from home or from a relative's house.
Yep.
The study noted that firearms involved in community violence are similarly deployed in school shootings and suggests a potential overlap in the factors driving these violent incidents collectively.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could study this as, a national health?
It would be interesting.
I mean, there are studies. Studies like this are very important.
They are.
And this is the kind of thing we need to keep doing. And we need to keep doing it and have big studies and national health problems, which people will ignore. They will just ignore them.
Well, it'll be brought up, but then they'll say it was too soon or something. Don't politicize or.
In Nevada, Fervo's first operational pilot project has been pumping carbon-free electricity into the state's grid to power Google data centers. Google announced yesterday. They're using this pilot project to launch larger projects like this one in Utah, an advanced geothermal project. Because these data centers that Google has, and there's one in Utah, take up enormous amounts of energy. But they're building these geothermal site to power them, and it won't use up all.
That's great.
It's really an interesting idea, and it's great that they've done it. And one quick story: George Santos, has he been thrown out of the Congress?
Not yet.
Well, it's getting close, maybe. It has been introduced again. We want you to leave. What will we do though without him? I mean, he is amusing in a way.
Well, yeah, if you are a fan of chaos, I suppose.
He says I'm not going to run for re-election.
Good.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But listen, I'm going to spill the tea about everybody.
Really?
That's what he said.
Yep. Yep. All right. That's it.
Weather, traffic.
Well, speaking of tea and soup and things that are gunky, that's the air we have. Bad air quality today, Thursday. Hopefully Thursday night into Friday is when things will start to change. We've got about a 60% chance of snow. And then that continues throughout the weekend. So hopefully big enough storm to clear the air out. But for the next day or two, try to limit your driving if you can. Trip chain, that kind of thing. Let's not add to the pollution if you can help it. 42 for high. Traffic, we have a crash south on I-15, exit 269, University Parkway off-ramp in Orem off to the right shoulder. Also have a crash Riverdale Road, 15th West in Weber County. 2 left lanes are closed there. Let me check our message stream to see if our Infiniteam traffic hipsters are out there. Yeah, one of them talking about the Riverdale Road accident. If you see something, you can say something. Text it to us, 33986. Visit your Utah Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Here's boner candidate number 3. Another politician. This one is dumb as a sack of hammers. Oh, man.
Now,
this is Kennedy.
You got him.
Now, the thing about Kennedy you need to know, whenever you hear him speak, he does this foghorn leghorn thing.
I'll do the voice, okay?
Well, there's audio of him speaking years before this. He never had that accent.
Well, that's...
He puts it on.
He puts it on. He went to Yale. He went to one of these Ivy League schools, Yale or Harvard.
GOP Senator John Kennedy was reminded of his own home state statistics after a question sort of backfired on him in the Senate Judiciary Committee. Even though it backfired, by the way, I'm going to read through this whole thing.
Yeah.
He soldiered on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kennedy asked expert witness Dr. Megan Rainey from Yale's School of Public Health why Chicago, quote, Chicago. Why Chicago has become America's largest outdoor shooting range. Do you think it's because of Chicago citizens who have no criminal record, but they have a gun in their home, or perhaps for hunting? Or do you think it's because of a finite group of criminals who have rap sheets as long as King Kong's arm? Ms. Rainey said, well, you know, Senator, Mississippi, Louisiana, his home state, and Missouri actually have higher firearm death rates than Chicago.
So that should have been the end of it.
That should have been the end of it.
Kennedy interrupted her, though, and asked again about Chicago, to which Rainey responded, well, I don't live in Chicago. It's not my area of expertise. But when pressed, she said she thought gun violence in the city stemmed from, quote, easy access to firearms combined with environmental conditions and lack of education. She also cited a study that when abandoned buildings are repaired and vacant lots are replaced with trees, there's a decrease in gun violence and the stress and depression in the surrounding neighborhoods. Well, no respect, Doc, but that sounds like a lot of word salad to me.
You went to an Ivy League college, sir. You understand exactly what she said.
I say there's lots of gun violence in Chicago.
I'm just trying to hit that whole Chicago thing again, you know, like we right-wingers do.
No respect, Doc. That just sounds like a lot of word salad. Boner candidate number 3, another politician, this one as dumb as a sack of hammers.
All right, so let's review the first two and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, she stabbed him in the eye with a rabies needle. Self-explanatory. Florida woman. Boner candidate number 2, an elected official, dumb as a bag of rocks. That's Kevin McCarthy, former Speaker of the House, who said, you know, the United States has never asked for any land after wars. Never. Except, you know, like your home state of California. And then Boner candidate number 3, another politician, this one dumb as a sack of hammers.
All right, let's get to voting, shall we? Thank you. You can vote 3 different ways. Well, first of all, you have to decide who you're going to vote for. Which one of these candidates do you think is the worst? Which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, November 29, 2023? 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number. Put that number, that single digit is all we need, in the message of a text, and then text that to 33986. Here they come, the votes. Or you can call our producer's booth in the Salt Lake City, 877-602-9696. They're back home in Salt Lake. We're in Provo today. Or you can go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner of the Day, November 29, 2023. Click and vote. If you don't see that box, refresh your browser. It'll appear. Click and vote. We're broadcasting live from Larry H. Miller Chevrolet in Provo this morning, 2125 North University Parkway. Come and see us. Make a donation to the road home. We'll tell you more about that coming up as soon as we award the Boner after these, X96.
Holiday Stories from Shane Company customers.
My 3 girls are coming home for the holidays. I created a gemstone necklace for each of them at Shane Company. Gracie loves yellow, so I chose citrine for her. For Ava, I chose blue topaz. It's known to bring clarity. And for Lexi,
96.
They're very nice, and they're very efficient, and they just do a great job. All right, so we had Boner Can. Let me look here. It's interesting. I would have expected one of these to break 100. None of them did. She stabbed him in the eye with a rabies needle. That came in a distant third. So it was a battle between the two politicians, McCarthy and Kennedy, back and forth. But by 10 votes, it was number 2, McCarthy. Yeah.
Oh. There's your boner of the day for today.
I think that really was dumber, actually, if I think about it. That's dumber.
Yeah,
than
he should know the history
Kennedy.
of his state.
Yeah.
And Kennedy went to Oxford.
Yeah,
So I knew he went to a hoity-toity school.
He went to Vanderbilt, he went to the Virginia Law School, and then he went to Oxford University.
So, yeah. So he's smart enough to be dangerous.
You would think he'd be smart.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, there's McCarthy. There's your boner of the day. Let's see. We are broadcasting live from Larry H. Miller Chevrolet, 2125 North University Parkway in Provo.
Lots of friends of the program come by already. Thank you so much, Utah County, for bringing items for the road home.
And somebody brought us really nice handmade Christmas cards.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Littlefoot is who had
Someone
signed
named
by.
Littlefoot.
Yeah, Littlefoot.
Yeah, he did them custom and
Yeah.
his own drawings on there too. Good.
Yeah.
That's some good artwork. I like that.
Katie says that's a dinosaur, Littlefoot.
What's that?
It's a
snowflake.
snowflake.
Oh, okay.
You snowflake?
It says break a leg, not a snowflake.
I think you'd recognize that liberal media bill already.
Well, I'm not a snowflake. I'm tough as rocks.
He says as he's wearing a rainbow sash.
Yeah.
Yes, Molly Mormon made Bill a Best Utah sash that he can wear to the City Weekly party. And I still ordered you another sash. You're going to have a casual sash and
I'm going
fancy
to be
sash.
I'm going to be sash heavy.
Sachet. Shantae.
Now, what is the sash? What I didn't see the sash that you ordered for me. What does it
Oh, I don't
look like?
I don't know.
You don't know? There wasn't a picture of it?
No, there wasn't a picture of it.
Our attorney Ed Brass wants to know if being Best Utah carries a pardon power.
Yes, it does. I can
Keep in mind the business that Ed is in.
I can. But the only people I can pardon are people who are arrested for urinating in public.
That's it.
That's it.
Limited pardon
Yeah,
power. All
that's
right.
the only. That's the only pardon power I have. If you've been caught urinating in public, I can pardon, and you're fine. I can pardon you and forgive you the fine.
Also, Ed says he's going to be at that party tomorrow night, against his will, but he'll be there.
Yeah.
So
Well, he won an award.
he did. Well, he's mostly going to support Mrs. Ed Brass, Amy
She
Donaldson,
also won an award.
because she won some big award.
Yeah,
You know what's happening the same night as the City Weekly party?
I don't.
Speaking of Kennedys,
Oh yeah,
your crazy Kennedy is in town.
Kennedy
Jesus.
Jr.
He's having an event the same night.
Where is he having it? It's like
It's at a club.
I heard and I couldn't understand the name of the club
It's
because
at a
he
club. I don't know which
slurred
club,
that too.
but it's at a club.
He can't say his name or the name of the club.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I think the City Weekly party will be better attended than
Yeah,
that.
I would hope. For
yeah.
God's sake,
I don't know. It will be interesting to see how many people turn up for it.
because all you people donating to Kennedy, that's votes for Trump.
Yeah.
All right, that's all it is. You're taking votes away from Biden, and essentially you're giving votes to Trump. That's just math.
So
I'm
that's
sorry.
Bobby Kennedy's son,
Yeah.
and I saw Robert Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, in person.
Oh, you did?
At Weber State College at the time.
I didn't know that.
Weber State College. I was in high school, and he made a campaign stop here in Ogden.
You think?
And then he went to California and was killed.
You think JFK was beloved? He was beloved. Robert Kennedy, also beloved.
He was an interesting character because I didn't care for his. I mean, what did I know of it when I was in high school? But as I look back on his career, he wasn't that great at first. But something changed in him, and he became very active. A very active
See, he was civil
rights guy, and a very active anti-war candidate. He changed. He wasn't quite as great as that until the last couple of years of his life. But it was fascinating to see him. There were a lot of people there, and it was in the old gymnasium at Weber State. And he was extremely charismatic. Very, you could just feel it, you know, from.
He would have been a good president.
And, well, I guess. I hope it was at him. They put his body on a train. I believe it was him, or it was either him or his brother, but I think it was him. And they stopped at little towns all the way.
Well, if they had to get him from California to East Coast.
I'm trying to remember the details of it, but people would turn out. And people turned out at each stop, at each little stop in town, and particularly the black population. They just adored him, worshipped him. And then here's his son, who's just
a nut,
a hugging nut. I don't.
He's completely insane.
Something happened to him, you know, because he was a brilliant environmental lawyer.
Yeah. Many years ago, I used to listen to a radio show with him and I can't remember who his partner was. And it was before he fell for all the anti-vax stuff and went down the internet hole and started believing all that crap.
On June 8th, 1968, a 21-car train carried the body of slain New York Senator and presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy from New York's Penn Station to Washington, D.C.'s Union Station. Before airplanes in the interstate highway system, the train was a defining feature of the burial proceedings for great leaders. Over a century earlier, trains transported the body of Abraham Lincoln, Ulysses S. Grant, FDR, Dwight Eisenhower. So it's lots of.
And I remember seeing people at every stop, but there were people where they could lining the tracks, you know, standing and watching the train go slowly by.
Now, we're here taking donations for the road home, and you can drop them off at any Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer near you. We're in Provo today. But usually at about this time of year, we start thinking about ways to raise money for the road home.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we got this email from Corin, sent it to Bill and I, said, you guys need to act out Sean Reyes' screenplay.
His scene for
his scene from the sequel, Cry of Freedom, that he wrote.
That Sean Reyes wrote, yeah.
And I saw that, and I went, yeah, that would be fun. But we should hold that hostage for donations.
Oh.
So, well, how do we...
We should save this for the actual road home broadcast.
Do
it that day? And then we have to decide who plays which part. I don't know.
Well, Gina can read the directions, you know, like interior day, that whole thing. She can read the descriptions and directions. So we just have to toss a coin to see who was Sean Reyes and who was... I'm not even sure who the other character is.
Oh, it's I read through it and I can't remember now. Yeah. We'll figure it out.
We will figure it out, and we will present this to you as a donation
incentive.
If we reach a certain number,
we're going to hold that hostage for a certain amount of money, and you can make those donations at x96.com for the money donations.
Yeah, just hit the red donate button, and it's all there.
But we're taking your physical donations right now. We're here till 10, but the Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers are open all the time, so you can stop by and see them. But we're here until 10, and we're at Larry H. Miller Chevrolet in Provo, 2125 North University Parkway in Provo.
Where are you? Come on. There was a bunch of people.
Rush early.
And then it slowed down, so we get in here now.
All right, so, we got that for you. We'll have more coming up. Stand by. KXRK Provo, X96.
Traffic?
Oh, traffic. Yes, please. Sorry.
Because our attorney also sent me traffic.
Oh, good.
He's part of our Infiniteam, Ed Brass is.
Yes, he is.
He says there's some kind of serious police activity on I-215 on the west side, just south of Interstate 80. There are numerous highway patrol troopers with lights speeding both north and south directions. There must be some sort of major incident going further south. Thank you, Ed Brass, for that. We have fire affecting the roadway southbound I-215 west, 10th south in Salt Lake. The right lane is closed there. Crash southbound I-15, exit 269. That's University Parkway off-ramp in Orem. And down to Mona, we have a crash northbound I-15, milepost 230, because we, you know.
It's not my fault, Daddy.
Mona, Utah. So why not? Visit your Utah Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
All right. KXRK Provo, X96.
Mom,
Taylorsville.
Is Taylorsville one of the Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers we're going to? We should look.
I got a list right here, and
Closest we'll get to you, Paul, is in, let's see, South Jordan. But Paul is in Taylorsville is the important information.
West Valley.
Yeah, there's one in West Valley, too. So they're close by.
But Taylorsville is the important
Taylorsville is what we're talking about.
Taylorsville. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. We are broadcasting live from Larry H. Miller Chevrolet, 2125 North University Parkway in Provo. Bring your physical donations down. Throw them in the back of the truck. We got prizes and donuts for you.
Those donuts aren't going to eat themselves. Come on, get in here.
Get in here before the sales team gets in here.
I know how to turn a
They're
phrase,
not
don't I?
going to eat themselves.
Yes.
I have, one of those things people like,
What would that be?
other than donuts. A list.
A list.
Well, that list isn't going to eat itself.
No.
Or list itself.
It's Radio from Hell with another list, because people love a good list. X96.
Now, I thought this list would be helpful for me specifically, but anybody can use it. But I also have a problem with the list.
What is it?
Okay.
The list is the 10 best comeback phrases to remember when someone is rude to you. And this-
Snappy answers to stupid questions.
Yeah.
So how many of them are there?
Well, there's 10.
10? So each one of these will be directed at me? Is that
Just
what-
saying, if you hear me saying these things to you, Bill, it means you're being rude to me.
Okay.
Thank you for your perspective.
Yeah, well, that's rather dismissive, isn't it?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
So when if someone says something rude to you, you
Yeah.
say, "Thank you for your
Thank
perspective."
you for your perspective.
I
You
like
should
that.
pause for a second and go, thank you for your
For your
perspective.
perspective.
Thank you.
We've all heard, I think we should agree to disagree, which is an unsatisfying
I don't like that
comeback, really.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
Bill, when you're making fun of me for something, you might hear me say, well, I appreciate your feedback on...
To which I would respond, no, you don't. You never pay attention to what I say.
Bill, when you're yelling at me for something, which happens,
It does not.
I might say, I understand that you're upset.
Yes, that's really dismissive.
How about this one? Mm-hmm. This conversation is becoming unproductive.
Well, that I like that one.
Oh wow. Yeah.
You know what? And then I would respond, no, you know what, Gina? This conversation started being
Yeah, see?
it started as being
And then I will say, I won't tolerate disrespect, which is next on the list.
I won't tolerate. You would never say that.
Which I tolerate all the time, actually. How about let's continue this discussion when we're both calm?
That one won't work
No.
with anybody.
No.
No, I don't think so.
The answer to that isn't going to be, you're
No.
right.
It
We
would
should-
just make the person madder.
Exactly.
I'm perfectly calm.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Never tell someone to calm down.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No.
No.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Can we talk about this later? That's the same kind of thing of, can we discuss this when we're both calm?
Yeah, but you're not saying calm. For some reason, calm is a trigger word. When you tell someone to calm
Yeah.
down, that really upsets
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So I think that's a little better.
How about, I'm going to another room now.
I'll be over here. When you've
I've said
calmed
that.
down,
You work that out. I'll be over here.
I've said that. I'm going to another room.
When you're ready to be reasonable, you can come find me.
Oh, man, that's really bad.
I think we should end this conversation now.
Oh, I like that one because it's very direct. And it's basically F you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the 10 things on the list. Now, when I saw the headline for this, there is a certain phrase that leapt to mind, which I thought would be top of the list.
Now, what's the headline again?
So the headline is the best comeback phrases to remember when someone is rude to you. And the first thing I thought of is, oh yeah, well the jerk store called and they're running out of you.
Should be on the list, I suppose.
How about,
Why is that not on the
there
list?
should be, here's one that should be on the list. Same to you, but more of it. Right?
I know you are, but what am I?
I know you are, but what am I?
Not on the list.
No. Your breath and a buffalo fart.
I've never heard that. God.
I don't know
No, don't.
where that came from.
Don't use
But
that one.
but that's why I have the power to pardon people who are urinating.
Exactly.
So that's the list.
We hope you'd enjoyed another list with Radio from Hell on X96.
And the horse you rode in on.
I'm rubber and you're glue. Mm-hmm. Whatever
Yeah.
bounces off of me, it'll stick to you. Yeah. So's your old man.
Or there's my favorite. Blow it out your ass.
That's always good.
That's a classic.
That's
It's,
always good.
That de-escalates the
It
situation.
certainly it de-escalates.
I really miss So's your old man. I don't know. Yeah, So's your old man. I don't,
Sit on it.
yeah. Sit on it and spin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, believe it or not, we're here to do good works.
We're nice people.
Yes, honest,
trying
we
to help
are.
other people.
We're nice.
We are really honest.
And you know what? Our friends of the program are the nice people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, they've come through already this morning, coming to Larry H. Miller Chevrolet in Provo, 2125 North University Parkway. Now we're just here till 10 doing the show, but maybe you can't come in till this afternoon or after work late or something. That's fine. They're taking donations. Not just here, but at all the Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers from now until like a couple days before Christmas.
Clark Nelson came in, and he brought some stuff for the road home, and he gave me not one, but 2 dimes.
Oh, well, there you go.
He said, it's an extra dime because you're the best Utahn.
So, see, it's already paying off.
Paying off, man. Give me a dime.
Yeah, so come and see us. We are at 2125 North University Parkway. But like we said, there are Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers all around the place. There's one near you, guaranteed, I'm sure. Take your physical donations. And when I say physical, I mean we're talking about coats, boots, hats, gloves. They really need the sanitary stuff,
Feminine hygiene
feminine
products.
hygiene products.
Yeah.
And diapers for kids, the bigger sizes, 5 and 6.
New unwrapped toys are also very welcome for the Candy Cane Corner. Any physical donation that you can make, sleeping bag perhaps. Again, there's a Costco just up the street, and Molly Mormon saw coats there for, what was it, like
14.
$15 for these long, nice
Yeah,
down-like
very warm
coats.
yeah.
They can
So-
use that.
Grab a couple of those and bring them down and make a donation, and we'll hook you up with a prize of some kind, or at least a donut for that matter.
The Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers all along the Wasatch Front, Murdoch Chevrolet in Woods Cross, John Watson up in Ogden. There's another Larry Miller one in Murray, Riverton Chevrolet, Jerry Seiner in Salt Lake, Young Chevrolet, the Ken Garf Chevrolet in American Fork. Spanish Fork has Doug Smith. Hey, Doug.
Hey, Doug.
And Park City has Carl Malone and Tooele Motor Company. So places you can go.
Now, shampoo, conditioner, things like that. Now, next week, 1 week from today, we're going to be at Riverton Chevrolet in South Jordan, South Jordan Gateway. So we'll be there 1 week from today, taking your physical donations. And then on the 13th, we'll be at Murdoch Chevrolet in Woods Cross. But again, Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers all over the place. So
And if you can't actually make it to donate a physical donation, we've made it really easy for you to help the road home. On our website, there's a big red donate button. You can just donate money directly to the road home there, and then they can buy whatever items they're in need of that people haven't brought into the Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer.
And it just takes money to run the place. I mean, to pay the bills and the light bill and the
exactly,
all
heat.
of that, heat and all of it. So it's this is the biggest fundraiser of the year for the road home, and you can help out.
And then don't forget, we'll be broadcasting live from the road home, from the family shelter
In Midvale.
in Midvale on the 20th and 21st. And then we will we'll be off until we'll be back January 2nd.
Yeah.
So
Let's see. We got 1 second here.
just a second.
Our good friend Brad Wheeler
good.
contacted me yesterday. Somebody stole his bike.
I saw that post. Yes.
Off of his porch. It had a U-bolt on it and everything. They cut the U-bolt, stole his bike. If you see this bike, it's almost this is a really unusual bike. It's called a Surly Ogre. It's double XL. It's a huge bike.
Well,
'cause
but
he's
Brad's a
huge
tall guy.
Yes.
It's khaki colored with white tires, Jones style handlebars, And if you see it, please message us here at X96, reclaim it, or you can message not Bad Brad, just Brad Wheeler on Facebook or Instagram or all of that. If you see his bike, get it for him.
Do you have a picture of it, maybe, Brad? We can post it.
I've got a picture of it here. I'll figure out how to post it. Okay.
All right.
I'll post it at
Little jerks.
somewhere. Where will I post it? Twitter?
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Or our Facebook page or something.
All right. 8:14, and we'll take a break. It's Beat Gina time. So we need to have either a contestant on the phone, or better yet, a contestant here in person to play Beat Gina.
Sure.
So swing on by. Boy, I'll tell you. 2125 North University Parkway. We could just give you your prize right here.
The prize is Ballet West Nutcracker tickets.
Everybody wants those Nutcracker tickets. So 877-602-9696. Line up to play Beat Gina. I've got the questions right here. Let's see. I forgot what the topic is, even though I wrote them yesterday.
You did it, yeah.
Oh, classic video game trivia.
Oh, all right.
Because it's Pong's anniversary, released on this day in 1972. The only video game that Bill has ever played.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was terrible at it.
Classic video game trivia for the Nutcracker tickets. 877-602-9696 on the phone, but if you're here, you could play in person. Larry H. Miller Chevrolet in Provo. X96.
Traffic.
Oh, traffic, yes.
Crash northbound I-215 west at 19th South. It's off to the right shoulder. There's fire affecting the roadway. Southbound I-215 west 10th South in Salt Lake. The right lane closed there. And let me see if anybody sent anything in via text. It's where our Infiniteam gathers to send us traffic. You do that at 33986. There's a new local company called NAFS. That's K-N-A-F-S, NAFS. They want their pocket knives in your pockets and Christmas stockings. Visit their store in Clearfield where they sharpen blades too, and they personalize these. Bill's got his personalized pocket knife right there.
I put the rainbow skin on it, and it's really nice.
It's a nice thing. Go to NAFS, that's KNAFS.com. Use promo code X96 to save 10%.
All right, X96.
X96 is everywhere. Yeah.
Democrats, for good reason, have been in a poll-induced panic for weeks. Despite a relatively successful presidency, a really pretty damn good economy, President Biden falling behind Donald Trump in the polls, often by startling margins.
It's because, and I'm going to say mainstream media, they keep repeating these polls that are not factual, that have no basis in reality, that are oftentimes paid for by right-wingers.
The polls really don't mean too much.
They don't mean a damn thing.
At this point. They're perhaps useful to the people who are running campaigns. What issues are people?
But even they should know that these polls are not.
But just the fact, just trying to determine a horse race here. It's nothing.
Well, the mainstream media wants a horse race.
Yeah.
They love it. It's good for clicks.
And I want to be polled. I have never been polled.
Me neither. Well, you don't answer your phone. That's right.
An evangelical Christian figure in a key state delivered a stern warning to Donald Trump ahead of next year's battle for the presidency or in the Republican nomination. I believe Iowa is going to rise up, Bob Vanderplatz, head of the Iowa-based Family Leader, told the Blaze host Steve Deese. I believe Iowa will send a message on January 15th because I think they're seeing through this as well. This is smoke and mirrors. This is not leadership. He's talking about Trump. This is not the leadership our country needs, he said. And I believe that the voters will see through all of this nonsense and Donald Trump will fall in the polls.
I don't get my hopes up anymore about these things.
A southern Utah mother and her newborn daughter are considering themselves lucky to be alive after they were uninjured when the ceiling of their hurricane apartment caved in unexpectedly. As I was shutting the door and I looked back, and it was just a gray cloud, explains Jerika Peterson. Ms. Peterson's daughter's room looks almost unrecognizable after the collapse in the third-floor apartment on Monday. I was just feeding my daughter. All of a sudden, I heard the ceiling start to fall. I grabbed her and ran out the door as fast as I could. My neighbor was coming up the stairs, so I was like, "Here, take the baby. I have a service animal." And he got left in the apartment. Peterson worried about the ceiling after noticing her fan and light fixture was filling with water. She believes that the culprit is a burst pipe from a swamp cooler. 3 or 4 months ago, the same thing happened in the apartment next door. Their bathroom ceiling fell through because the pipe burst into their swamp cooler, she said. It hasn't been winterized properly. And who's going to be on the line for that, I wonder? Let's see, Celeste Malloy, boo. A week after her election night victory, was sworn in Tuesday as the newest member of Congress. When you're driving in southern Utah, Cedar City, Hurricane area, billboards all over the place. Thank you, southern Utah. Celeste Malloy, thank you.
Oh, she knows who
thank
elected
you,
her.
Thank you, thank you. All you rednecks who voted for me. Laura Getz was one of 3 girls who were plaintiffs in the girls' football lawsuit that was just settled. Sam Gordon has spent most of her life proving what girls can do. Laura Getz wanted to play tackle football. On the football field, Sam Gordon didn't just hold her own against the boys. She dominated, became a viral sensation at age 9. Now she and a few other women hope their efforts have made it easier for the next generation of female athletes to prove what they can do. The Title IX lawsuit that alleged discrimination and tried to force Granite, Jordan, and Canyon School District and the High School School Activities Association to sanction girls' tackle football reached a settlement last month. They won't yet see girls tackle football teams at the schools, but they did reach a settlement that they will give girls access to and participate in other sports. And so they say we had a partial victory here. Even if it's not tackle football, what I wanted, but we have other things that we won here.
All right. Sports, weather, traffic.
Well, step aside beer songs and Bentley's. Post Malone has just combined 2 more of his favorite things, the Dallas Cowboys and clothes. He's designing clothes for the Dallas Cowboys. The whole clothing line featuring tees and jackets and sweatshirts and shorts. We're not going to hold this against Utah's own Post Malone. He loves the Dallas Cowboys.
I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We don't have a football team.
No,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
We're going to find out today if Salt Lake has a better chance of getting the Olympics, either 2030 or 2034. We're going to get one of those, but they're going to make an announcement today about that. The Utah women's basketball team are just running over everybody. 100-44 last night over Carroll's Fighting Saints. And the Jazz are on the road today. They play the Memphis Grizzlies at 6 o'clock. Weather. So the inversion means it's cold down here and you can't breathe, and up there it's warmer and you can breathe. So maybe go up there. I don't know.
Go up there.
25 right now and hazy skies. Bad air quality today, tomorrow. Hopefully by Thursday night into Friday, this storm comes through, and it's a storm that's supposed to hang around most of the weekend. So hopefully that's going to clear the air out. And we would appreciate that. Let me check our traffic, see if any of our Infinity team out there, that's you folks, our traffic hipsters, let us know what they're seeing out there on the roads. And I haven't had an update from UDOT in about 45 minutes or so. Let's see, we did have a crash northbound I-15, milepost 291 in Salt Lake. We have a crash northbound I-15 just north of Center Street in Utah County on the right shoulder. Northbound Washington Boulevard, 2275 south in Ogden, the right shoulder affected there. Crash southbound I-15 31st south off-ramp in Ogden. That off-ramp is closed. And what are you seeing out there? You can let us know via text at 33986. The State Room presents Creating Music Memories. Don't miss this chance to see Macy Gray perform live this Friday, December 8th at the Commonwealth Room. Get tickets and the full lineup at thestateroompresents.com.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after these things that must go as we broadcast live from Larry H. Miller Chevrolet, 2125 North University Parkway in Provo with the road to the road home, X96.
Things that must go on the radio.
From Hell Show.
These are things that are bugging the hell out of you. You can't stand it no more. You've had all you can take. You can't stand no more. And so you think, how can I get these things out of my life? I know. I'll send an email to Radio from Hell at x96.com. And if they mention mine on the air, maybe it'll make me feel better, and maybe even these things might disappear from your life. We can only hope. So let's go. Well, why don't you go first, Gina?
Okay, we've got one here from our friend Tony, who often sends us things that must go. Thank you, Tony. My things that must go are the boat mechanic ranting that pigeons are useless. Well, we aren't happy as they poo about town, and pooing about town is...
Poo about town
is a phrase I enjoy.
Oh, it's a book I'm working on.
Birds do things that benefit us. They spread seeds, eat bugs. They can be quiet pets. What woman in a post-apocalyptic world wouldn't like to get a romantic note from a homing pigeon? Wouldn't that be fun?
Sure would.
May need them someday.
Let's see. Tony also says slave labor used to produce coffee and chocolate. That if you watch that Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, he does a whole thing on chocolate there that will make you not want to eat chocolate. He says, why didn't Tim Ballard liberate those children that are farming coffee and chocolate instead of hanging out with celebrities?
Well, because we all know why.
And also, things that must go, only getting one day of Chainsaw Guy on the show this year. He could have given advice about love, international diplomacy, and what kind of car to upgrade to. Well, a Chevy, of course.
Yes.
That's the one.
That Corvette over there.
This from Johnny B's girlfriend, things that must go, the freight train that parks across 17 South every single rush hour. Can my tax money please build a bridge over this thing?
I wonder why that is.
And finally, this from Kirk, the only liberal living in Utah County. Kirk, you better come down here and see us if this is true.
The only liberal.
Oh, you got Molly Mormon, too. I mean, she's here.
Let's see. Kirk says, illuminated electric billboards must go. Yes, they can charge multiple organizations and businesses for a few seconds cycled through on the freeway, but is it effective? For example, I'm driving on the freeway. I see an ad pop up. What do I see? Some catchphrase. Oh, wait, now it's gone. I can't read it anymore. Yeah. They go too fast.
That's why radio is your best investment.
Yes.
Right. Because radio is fundamental. I'll go next. Let's see. This one says, good morning. My thing that must go is people who come up on a red light and stop 20 feet behind the car in front of them, or 20 feet from the line in a turn lane. So you miss the chance to turn if you're behind them because the lights don't sense there are cars there and it skips your turn. Why must they do this? It drives me crazy. Thanks. Let's see. This one says, thanks for letting me listen. I'm a pharmacy technician, and my thing that must go are insurance companies that think they know what medication a patient should take instead of what the doctor has prescribed. Who has gone through years and years of education? This is so stupid. Yes. This is probably my pharmacist. And then finally, this one, thanks for letting me listen. Long time friend of the program. You can use my name. Two things on my must-go list this week. First, when the cleaning crew in the office refills the toilet paper dispenser and does not bother to start the new roll. So I am stuck there for 20 minutes trying to twist my hand up into the dispenser at an almost impossible angle where I can only reach the roll with one or two fingers. And when I finally manage to start a small strip to provide many small strips of toilet paper at a time while making a tear in the roll that continues to dispense a cropped portion of the roll despite pulling it from every manageable angle, please make this go away. I have a hard time standing up afterward because at this point my legs have gone numb from sitting so long. And second, when using the office restroom facilities capable of multiple patrons at the same time, under no circumstances ever try to start a conversation with me while I'm sitting in a stall. Unless the building is burning to the ground and I have seconds before suffering a miserable death in a towering inferno, there's absolutely no reason to attempt striking up a conversation with me. If you're guilty of doing this, you should have your head examined by a professional as soon as possible. I don't know what I would do without Radio from Hell on X96. You've been a part of my life for so long, it's hard for me to remember what my life was like before. Make it a double, leave the bottle, love your show, love you all, Jeremy.
Thank you, Jeremy. All right, I'll start with the one from the foot of Mount Doom, and we're gonna save some lives here.
We are.
How's that?
We're going to. Well, it's time for a redesign of something that I think everyone is familiar with.
Okay.
The standard glass deviled egg dish that everyone either has seen, It has spaces for 12 halves.
Yes.
No right-thinking person is only going to bring 12 halves of deviled eggs to a party. Even if you have 2 of these dishes, how do you manage them? You can't stack them on top of each other. It'll squish the filling. One person can easily eat 3 to 6 halves,
Yes.
and that's showing restraint, I'll add.
Okay.
You basically made enough for 2 people when you only bring 1 dish. Deviled egg dishes need to have at least enough spaces for 24 halves. Now, the cookie sheet that we used held 38 halves for a party with 15 people, which we found to be the perfect size. Everybody got as many as they wanted. You're welcome.
Cookie sheet.
All right.
Okay.
So redesign the deviled egg.
They used to have a really nice Tupperware one.
It was double stacked,
Yeah,
right? Wasn't it?
yeah, with a sealable lid.
I remember, yeah.
And a handle.
See, we need to go back to these old designs.
Yeah.
This one from, let's see, does not say I can, Kimball says, feel free to use my name. Robocalls must go. We all know them. We all hate them. Many of us wonder who could possibly fall for them. The answer is the elderly. And according to a deep dive investigation by the New York Times a few years ago, that sings to the tune of multiple $billion every year. What must go is the constant drive by scammers to find a better tactic to fool the elderly into falling their scam. Here's the newest one that I've noticed. Phone rings. Me. Hello? Scammer. Hi, this is generic Anglo-Saxon name.
Scott.
With generic, vaguely official-sounding business or government agency. Me. Scammer. You asked me to call you back. Do you remember?
No.
I'm a millennial, which means I never ask anyone to call me back. I prefer no one calls me in the first place. But the elderly person who might have been having trouble remembering who called them the other day could easily be fooled by this deceitful tactic. I hope these folks live to a very ripe old age so that they, too, may one day be scammed out of their savings. Thank you. This one from Julie. The guy that poured a drink down my partner's back and chair at the Depeche Mode concert.
Oh, no.
He apparently didn't like that my partner got up to dance to a song. Extended family that know that we are reasonable liberals, but they wear their Trump hat when visiting our home.
On purpose.
On purpose. This right after Trump called us all vermin and plans to put us in camps if he is elected. He has said that. Broken refrigerators and repairmen that say I'm getting the part that you need. I'll come back to install it. It'll be fixed by Thanksgiving. And then he goes. Yeah. And this one from Timbo. Wet streets in movies or TV shows. Have you ever noticed, and this is true, that the streets are frequently wet in movies and TV shows, even in L.A. where the rain is rare? It's interesting that the streets are wet, but the cars and windshields are not wet. I saw a movie, Shooter, with Mark Wahlberg. There's an aerial view as part of the movie, and one can see that the airport tarmac was dry, except for a wet square of pavement in front of the airplane hangar that this was in the previous scene. And it's true, they do that, Timbo, because it looks cool.
Yeah, you get the lights reflecting off the...
Yeah, that's the reason they do it.
Yeah.
So there's your list of things that must go. Nick?
Things that must go on the radio. From Hell Show.
Traffic.
Crash eastbound I-215 south at Redwood Road, the right shoulder being affected there. Crash southbound I-215 west milepost 22. Crash northbound Washington Boulevard 2275 south in Ogden, right shoulder affected there. Crash northbound I-15 milepost 291 in Salt Lake. And crash northbound I-15 just north of Center Street in Utah County. That is off to the right shoulder. X96 and the Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers invite you to help those at the road home this holiday season with needed blankets, coats, boots, hats, and gloves. Drop off donations at any Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer. Visit x96.com for dealer locations. Spread the warmth and help others find their way home. We are right now at one of those locations. We're at Larry H. Miller Chevrolet in Provo, 2125 North University Parkway.
We're going to be here till 10, broadcasting live, taking your donations. I'm really impressed with how full the back of the pickup truck is right now.
It's fascinating to me, too. My back is kind of to the where I haven't realized a lot of people have been coming in, and I haven't even seen them because they're behind me.
They throw the bags and all the containers of clothing and physical donation items into the back of the pickup truck, and then they shouldn't slink off. They should stop to say hi. I know we're talking and doing a radio show, but at least wave.
Yeah, could wave and say hi.
There's donuts
If you
over
can't
there.
stop, blow us a kiss.
Something like that. Anyway, 2125 North University Parkway in Provo, Larry H. Miller Chevrolet. We're here until 10, but if you can't make it, there is a Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer near you. Go to x96.com for all the information. We got the Boner Recap game coming up, 877-602-9696. It's easy to play because, well, the answer's on our website, x96.com. Just tell us who the Boner winner was this morning, and you'll win.
You will win tickets to the Stateroom Presents Slam Rocks. It's a 4-pack of tickets. We could probably put those in a Radio from Hell coffee mug.
That's the Salt Lake area, the Salt Lake Music Academy. Those.
Those kids.
Yeah, the kids.
Oh, that's great. You'd want to see that.
What was it, Salt Lake? Something.
It's Slam Rocks.
Yeah.
You know, the guy, your friend.
Yeah.
Steve,
yeah.
Commonwealth Room, December 2nd.
KXRK Provo, X96.
Even though Radio from Hell is the show for
The really big ones.
Big ones.
9:09 right now. And, we're broadcasting live from Larry H. Miller Chevrolet, 2125 North University Parkway in Provo.
You know who just dropped off something?
Who?
Ringo. And Ringo is from Canesville, not Kaysville.
Canesville.
Canesville. Kanesville. I've never heard of Canesville, but apparently it is a place.
I will have to take your word for it.
Okay.
Unless I Google it.
I'm Googling it right now. Canesville
I am told it is a place.
is near West Haven, Utah. So it's out that
Out
way.
there.
That way.
Yeah. It's Weber County, I believe.
Okay.
So join us broadcasting live from Larry H. Miller Chevrolet in Provo. We're taking your physical donations. We're here till 10, but the Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers are taking them all the time for you, and there is one near you to make it easy. But right now, it's time for the...
You know who the first settler of Canesville was?
I don't.
It's 4 miles west of Ogden, and the settler was Orrin Headlock.
I'm glad they didn't name it Headlock. Why didn't they name it Headlock?
I don't know. I don't know.
You should.
Headlock, Utah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Damn right. All right, time for the boner recap. No, not Janesville. And not Kane with a C.
K with a K. Kane with a K.
We did spell it for you.
Canesville.
Boner recap?
Yes. This is a chance for this person sitting next to me to win a prize.
It's Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. How are
Hi.
you?
Good morning. I'm just fine. I'm fine.
You're fine? You're just fine? Well, thanks for stopping in.
Jenny.
Thanks for stopping by, and this is your chance to, now we're going to give away tickets to Commonwealth Room, Salt Lake Academy of Music. That's what it is.
It's Slam Rocks, 4-pack of tickets.
Yeah, and we'll put them in a coffee mug for you, and you can have a donut, too, if you win.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome very much. All right, here we go. These are the boner candidates. You'll tell me who the winner was. Number 1. Well, she stabbed him with a rabies needle. It's a Florida woman who was arrested for, in fact, stabbing her boyfriend in the eye with a needle that she had at her house with which to give her pets rabies injections. Boner candidate number 2, an elected official, dumb as a bag of rocks. That's Representative Kevin McCarthy, who couldn't hold on to the speakership of the House of Representatives. He was fact-checked about American history after saying the United States has never asked for land after winning a war. I think we've never asked for any land except to bury our dead.
No.
Yeah, he represents the state of California, which Mexico gave to us, along with Utah, Colorado, and Nevada.
He's monumentally wrong on this one.
Stupid. And boner candidate number 3 was another politician, dumb as a bag of hammers, this one. And this politician is Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana. We went to Oxford University.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want people to think I'm putting on airs, though, so that's why when I'm at Oxford, I talk like this.
Well, when he was a Democrat, he talked like that.
Yes, when I was a Democrat. But now, I'm a good Republican boy from Louisiana, and he said, Chicago, you see, Chicago has America's largest outdoor shooting range, and he was questioning this woman who was
an
expert on guns and statistics and all. She said, well, actually, Missouri, Mississippi, and your home state of Louisiana have higher firearm death rates than do Chicago. And he just plowed on through, word salad with me, lady. That was my favorite. But let's ask Jenny, do you know who the winner was?
I do indeed, Bill. I believe it was number 2.
You're correct.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Kevin McCarthy. Really. Just dumb. And I think that Kennedy, the number 3, he's not dumb probably, although
he went in with an agenda and was going to say that no matter what the expert had to say.
And as an attorney, he should know you never ask a witness a question that you don't already know the answer to.
Exactly. And I've 3 different attorneys have explained that to me.
Yeah.
So, this guy's... he thinks he's the smartest one in the room.
I've had attorneys explain that to me as we were going into court.
Bill?
Now, Bill.
Remember what we talked about.
Yes, okay.
If they ask you this,
yes, I got it.
this is what you say.
Yes, I got it.
And the advice the Fed attorney, when I was testifying down in Hawaii, the best advice he gave me was, he says, don't elaborate.
Answer the question.
Just, you know what I want. Just answer the question.
Simply, directly.
Don't elaborate, because it's just going to give that
Well,
guy
the
something.
weather that day.
And I wasn't allowed to say he was crazy. That was the other thing. Don't say he's crazy. You can't do that.
No.
But he's crazy.
But
I know he's crazy.
I know he's
but
crazy, but you can't say that.
But you are not a certified professional.
No.
Yeah, but you know crazy. when
Oh,
you see
believe
it.
me. I got a track record of spotting crazy, all right? Anyway. We will
had a track record of dating crazy.
I did briefly, yes.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's take a break. We'll be back with some leftover news coming up. Our concert calendar on the way. Broadcasting live from Larry H. Miller Chevrolet, 2125 North University Parkway in Provo. It is the road to the road home. We're taking your physical donations here, and they are taking them at every Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer along the Wasatch Front. More information. We'll give you details coming up after these. X96. 9:19 right now. Let's see, here's a text. So I didn't get a chance to say hi when I was dropping off donations.
Oh.
But my 8-year-old would never forgive me if I didn't at least text in. Remy loves listening to the show, just
Remy.
like his dad. Talks all the time about wanting to be an intern someday.
Oh.
Katie. So you get a hold of Katie for that. How
How
old
old?
is Remy?
Yeah. Does
Get
it
on
say?
Katie's list.
Yeah, get on Katie's list.
Yeah, and we've had some old interns stop by. It's always nice to see them. And
Yeah, the ones whose name I remember.
Let's see. All right, well, let's get to the...
oh, and we had another donation.
Oh, the guy with the
yes.
socks.
Josh Jones
Yeah.
from Kikau.
50 pairs of socks.
50 pairs of socks. They're one of those, places that sell socks, and for every sock bought, they donate. And that's so he was coming down here to say, "See, we do."
Yeah.
There you go.
Kikau, Josh Jones, 50 pairs of socks. That's perfect for the physical donation aspect of the road to the road home. Certainly, any clothing, new clothing item would be terrific. Blankets, gloves, hats, unwrapped toys for kids, feminine hygiene products.
Toiletries of all kinds,
Yeah.
soaps, shampoos,
So
razors, actually.
yeah.
is one
Yeah.
of the things.
Well, like I said, there's
Disposable
there's a
razors.
Costco just up the road, so you could hit it and then swing down and drop it off down here at Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer, or Larry H. Miller in Provo is where we're at today. Leftover news brought to you by...
There's a new local company called NAFS. They want their pocket knives in your pockets and Christmas stockings. Visit their store in Clearfield where they sharpen blades too. Bill, did you lose your
Oh,
knife?
it's right here. Wait a minute. Is my camera on?
Go to NAFS, KNAFS.com. Use promo code X96 and save 10%.
It's got my Radio from Hell engraved on one side of the blade and my name on the other side of the blade.
Oh, cool. News.
A man in Vietnam
A man in Nam.
who had experienced severe headaches for 5 months was flabbergasted. You knocked over my tiara. Please, I'm the best Utahn. He was flabbergasted after discovering that his severe headaches were caused by a pair of chopsticks lodged in his skull.
Was he scratching his ear? And
The unnamed 35-year-old patient had reported to Cuba Friendship Hospital in Dong Hoi on November 25th after suffering from the aforementioned headaches, as well as fluid discharge. The doctors conducted CT scans and revealed that the man was suffering from tension pneumocephalus, a rare, potentially life-threatening neurological condition defined by a dangerous increase in intracranial pressure. A subsequent examination revealed the unusual source of the man's symptoms, a pair of chopsticks that had reportedly penetrated up his nose into his brain. Dr. Win Van Man, head of Department of Neurosurgery, I don't know yet either, so
he tripped and fell and
dubbed the case very rare.
Yeah.
While the man was initially flummoxed over how he had ended up with eating utensils stuffed in his nose, he recalled that he'd been involved in a fight 5 months ago while out drinking. The patient didn't remember many details from the fight, only
how
that
drunk
someone...
do you have to be to not remember chopsticks up the nose?
Well, I could tell you, Gina, but it would take some time. The patient didn't remember many details about the brawl, only that someone had stabbed him in the face with an unknown object. However, when he reported to the hospital following the incident, doctors didn't find any chopsticks or abnormalities with his nose. In retrospect, the bemused patient believes that he'd been stabbed up the schnoz with the food forceps, which sat undiscovered in his skull until now. But thankfully, doctors were able to remove the chopsticks via endoscopic surgery through the nose. And they used microsurgery to seal the fistula, an abnormal connection between the artery and vein and brain and spinal cord tissue. Stable condition, waiting discharge from a hospital, so we go out drinking again.
Were they wooden or metal chopsticks? Doesn't say.
Doesn't say. Gina, this is a story for you.
Okay.
So much happens at the dinner table. There are many terms for it. The casual, let's grab a bite, let's do lunch. The bold, want to go out, can I make you dinner? The religious, what happens when you can't swallow food? You go to these celebrations, but you can't swallow food.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Dr. David Griffin is a thoracic surgeon with Intermountain Health. His focus is on a disorder called achalasia. It impacts about 1 in 10,000 people. I thought maybe this was you. It sounds rare, but it's really relatively common in medical terms. It means that people can't swallow food. It's a swallowing disorder.
You think that I can't swallow?
Food, oh yeah, you can. Food, you can unhinge your jaw. I've seen you do it.
You eat a whole deer.
Like a
just
snake.
in one.
Yeah, but what Dr. David Griffin says, so food gets stuck right about here, and they can sense it, and they can't swallow. So how do you treat it? Well,
Liquid diet. No.
Yes.
There are ways to treat it, but you need to go to the ER. The people think they're having a heart attack sometimes because the food seems stuck there. Yeah. I don't know why I read that story. I have no idea.
It's part of the leftover news.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be more interesting than it was. Although Gwen Stefani,
I'm interested.
has been a coach on The Voice on and off for several seasons. She has only secured 1 win on the show. In 2020, the No Doubt singer won season 19 with 15-year-old contestant Carter Rubin.
You remember, he went on to great fame and fortune.
Carter Rubin.
Yeah,
Okay.
Carter Rubin, yeah. He became the youngest male singer to win the show's history. And now Stefani is back on The Voice for the competition's 24th season, and she's looking, in 24 seasons on the air, I think I've seen 4 minutes of The Voice.
It's not for you.
Now Stefani is back on The Voice for the competition's 24th season, and she's looking for her second victory. So good luck.
Well, I think her track record speaks to the point that she should quit, really. She shouldn't be on the show.
That's what
She's
I
not
think.
had any wins.
That's what I think.
She should quit.
I did see a thing about The Voice, though. I don't know how I happened to tune into this or find it. It was Blake Shelton and Kelly Clarkson and John Legend. And they just started singing a song kind of impromptu, improvisationally, just... Geez, I just go, how do people do what they're doing? It was wonderful.
That's their thing.
Yeah. I mean, Blake
You have
Shelton
your
was terrific.
thing. That's their thing.
Oh, what's his name is quitting Shark Tank.
Mark Cuban.
He's going to sell the Mavericks,
and
too.
he sold the Mavericks.
Or trying to sell them.
Did he buy an island? Is
I
this the
don't
point
know.
in his life where he retires to an island?
New documentary, American Symphony, tells the story of recording artist John Batiste and writer Sulika Jaoud, who I believe is his wife. American Symphony shows Batiste racking up an impressive 11 Grammy nominations, while his wife, Jaoud, returns to chemotherapy for cancer treatment for her leukemia, which had been in remission for almost a decade. A Juilliard-trained musician, and he is really just incredibly talented. Batiste was part of the band Stay Human. Among his many achievements, he composed the music for Pixar's movie Soul, has released several studio albums, including We Are, which won Album of the Year at the Grammys. His wife is a writer well known for her Emmy Award-winning column in the New York Times called Life Interrupted. The column detailed her experience having cancer in her early 20s. She's become an advocate for cancer research and has released a memoir titled Between Two Kingdoms. The American Symphony, directed by Matthew Heineman, debuted at the Telluride Film Festival. It's a documentary focusing on the relationship between Batiste and Jaoud as they have navigated their professional careers amid the return of her cancer. Apparently, it is very compelling. It's a very compelling story, and they're just remarkable people they're magnetic people to watch and to hear them talk about their relationships. Macaulay Culkin is going to get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And he'll have a
Does he have a movie or something? That's usually when they do that.
Mini Home Alone reunion with on-screen mom Catherine O'Hara, who is slated to speak at the event. Culkin, who shares 2 children with former Disney Channel star Brenda Song, will be honored at a special ceremony. The producer of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Anna Martinez, expressed that the star has been a staple in pop culture for decades, and that's why he deserves his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Of course, he's most well known for
Home Alone.
Although it refers to him here
Uncle
as
Buck, maybe?
the good son actor.
Oh, yeah, he was the bad kid in that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jada Pinkett. Jada Pinkett Smith says she and Will are staying together forever.
Okay.
Well, all
So-
of our stuff is here in the same house, so.
And I want to make sure that Will remains in hell. She revealed, on the Drew Barrymore show that she and Will will be staying together forever.
Okay. Good
That's
for you.
great for them. And Bradley Cooper,
Good for you.
Rocket.
in a delight to Philadelphia Eagles fans and a shock to the Netflix award publicity team, actor and filmmaker Bradley Cooper has offered the football gods a sacrifice for a Philadelphia Super Bowl win.
They could do it. They're good this year.
He says, confidently, I would rather the Eagles win the Super Bowl than win an Oscar for Maestro. His film Maestro had 3
It's
Oscars.
gotten good
Okay.
reviews.
Best Director, Best Actor, and Best Actress for Carey Mulligan. Cooper, I don't think it's been nominated, but that's
There's
what they're
talk.
That's what
Yeah,
they're
it's
pushing.
soon.
Cooper would absolutely forego winning 2 Academy Awards individually to watch his favorite NFL team hoist the Lombardi Trophy in February.
Okay, great, Bradley. How do we make that happen?
Of course, the biopic is playing in selected theaters right now, and then it'll be on Netflix.
All right.
It's supposed to be really
Yeah,
good.
it's getting good reviews.
All right.
There you go.
Weather?
What's not good is the weather, at least the air quality part of it. Really gunky bad air inversion happening today and tomorrow. Our next chance of things changing a little bit is overnight Thursday into Friday. And then we actually have a period that runs through the weekend where we should have storm coming through. So hopefully all of that will mix up the air enough to clean it out. Looks like 60% chance of snow on Friday, 70% Saturday, and still a chance even on Sunday.
All right. So broadcasting live from Larry H. Miller Chevrolet, 2125 North University Parkway, Provo, for the Road to the Road Home. We got our concert calendar after these, X96.
Hello, Jan from Toyota here.
Hi, Jan. With the Grand Highlander we got at Toyotathon, we've been able to do so much. 5 different ski trips, 4 family functions, 3 potlucks, 2 shopping sprees, and a really big tree.
Dealer inventory may vary. Current offers on these.
9:35 right now, and I believe it is time for the concert and community calendar.
Does that mean that we get the privilege once again of talking to Mr. Live Nation, Trent Falcone?
Trent Falcone, I believe, is on
Well,
the phone.
Are you there, sir?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. We're way down in Provo, so it may be hard to hear us.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay. I'll just get right to it.
Yeah, you just go for it. Okay.
All right, this week, tonight, Mammoth WVH with Nita Strauss. That's at the Depot. That's 21 plus. Saturday, December 2nd, Armor for Sleep at the Complex. Sunday, December 3rd, Joe DeRosa at Soundwell. That's also 21 plus. And the same evening, Adam Sandler with a surprise guest, and it's a good one, at the Delta Center. And then Tuesday, December 5th, at the Depot, Freddie Dredd. And the same evening, Harbor at Urban Lounge. That's also 21 plus. And then on sale Friday, 10 a.m., livenation.com. Bryce Vine, February 24th at the Complex. Set It Off April 9th at the Depot. Blind Guardian May 3rd at the Depot. Bleachers May 18th at the Great Salt Air. And Jason Aldean returning to USANA Amphitheater on September 7th. And giveaway for this week, it's a pretty good one. Armor for Sleep, 2 tickets in will call. Joe DeRosa, also 2 tickets in will call. And Harbor, 2 tickets in will call for your winners. There you go.
Thank you, Trent. We'll let you go. The phone is kind of screwy, so
All right.
have a
Thanks,
lovely
guys.
week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, sir. All right, well, what else do we have?
Oh, those tickets, by the way, 877-602-9696. You can call and first come, first serve to win some of those.
Yeah, glad you mentioned that. Other things happening this weekend. I think it's Tara and Richard Bean of Mallow is going to be at the Commonwealth Room on Friday. Saturday, you've got the Christmas with Marie at Eccles and Slam Rocks. Yeah, Slam Rocks, the benefit concert at the Commonwealth Room on Saturday as well. Other things happening, you've got all the light walks that you could go through for Christmas. They're up and going. Festival of the Seas over at Living Planet Aquarium is going on through the 24th of December. If you want to, everybody, there's a lot of breakfasts with Santas this weekend. A lot. And so he's going to be everywhere.
I want to have breakfast with Santa.
Well, here, let me give you some times. On Saturday, you have breakfast with Santa at Discovery Gateway. You have donuts with Santa at the Southtown Mall.
Ooh.
You have the Utah Santa Run over at Gardner Village. This is all on Saturday. There's also, if you like fighting, Nick, this is for you, bare knuckles fighting at Maverick Center.
Oh, wait a minute. Is there cocktails with Santa anywhere?
So far, no.
Oh, damn.
Someone should do that.
But there is another, on Sunday, there is another breakfast with Santa over at the Little America Hotel.
Well, you can get a drink there.
So, yeah, see, there you go. There's also the Drag Queen Story Time Gone Wild with the Kinsley Six. Sorry, it's a little hard. It's going to be at the Rose Wagner Performing Arts Center if you want to check that out. It should be pretty fun. And then, of course, the Winters Farmers Market at the Gateway Saturdays. I believe it's from 8 to 1 or something like that in the morning. And that is your concert and community calendar for this weekend.
Now, cocktails with Santa would be kind of a cool thing to do. And then they do, I think they still do the Santa pub crawl?
They do. That is coming. It comes up closer to December or to Christmas itself.
Yet.
Yeah.
Santa crawls from pub to pub. Santa has a problem.
Santa loves a cocktail.
I feel like people would riot if we stopped that Santa pub crawl. So many people do it.
Mrs. Santa always complains that I'm wassailing too much.
Santa, get in here now, Santa.
Jesus.
This is my frying pan is in my hand.
Oh, leave me alone.
I would have thought Santa and Mrs. Claus would have had a better marriage than that.
After
all these years.
You never know.
I've got my Santa cave. That I'm
My Santa cave.
There's
For your hideout?
There's a pole in there. Call it the North Pole.
And a pool table and...
Sometimes some of the guys come
He
over.
won't let me in there.
No. Stay out.
I want to come in and see what's in the Santa cave.
No, you can't.
Well, there you go. All the
All right.
Santas for the weekend.
Oh, my.
There we go. Yeah, 2125 North University Parkway in Provo is where we're at this morning for the Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers. This is Larry H. Miller Chevrolet. But we will be next week doing the same thing, broadcasting live.
Riverton?
It's at Riverton Chevrolet in South Jordan.
No longer in Riverton.
Well, it's the South Jordan Gateway in South Jordan.
Right.
But it's just right there off the freeway. It's a big old location. You can't miss it. So that's where we will be 6 to 10 a.m. on the 6th of December. That's for the live broadcast. Then we will be on the 13th of December at Murdoch Chevrolet in Woods Cross. And that's at 2375 South, 625 West in Woods Cross. That's on the 13th. And then we'll be broadcasting live from the Road Home Midvale Family Shelter on the 20th and 21st. 21st will be our last day on the air until we come back for the holiday. At the Road Home Midvale Family Shelter, taking your physical donations and saying hi to everybody on the 20th and 21st. But between now and then, of course, you can get your physical donations together. You know, you go out shopping this weekend, pick up a few extra things, and then bring them to a Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer near you. We got a whole list of them.
Go to x96.com. At the top, there's a banner that says Rocky Mountain Chevy Dealers Road to the Road Home. All of their addresses are there.
I mean,
make it easy for you to find.
We got them as far, east and west is Park City and Tooele, and north and south is Spanish Fork, and let's see, we got one up in Ogden. Yeah, so plenty
There's one near you. And if there isn't one near you and you still want to help, there's a big red donate button. Just click on that. You can donate money, and that's nice because then the Road Home can buy the things that they're most in need of.
Well, and pay the power bills, the light bills, the heating bills, and all of that.
I mean, it's great to see y'all when you come out to these things, and it's always good to see everybody bringing stuff and donations. But the best thing you can do is give money. The Road Home really, they have their connections, and they can make your dollar go further than you can. So always happy to help every year, the Road Home. All right, we're going to take a break, wrap things up after some messages and a song, and crawl towards the exits coming up. X96. All right, 9:51, and we're just wrapping things up here at Larry H. Miller Chevrolet, 2125 North University Parkway in Provo.
I finally got around to posting a picture of Brad Wheeler and his bike.
His just retweeted it.
His bicycle has been stolen. It's a picture of him with his bike.
And apparently he had it locked up on his porch,
Yeah,
and they cut through the lock.
The U-bolt. It was a U-bolt even.
Wow.
It's, my son was telling me the other day you can buy things online that will cut through any chain or bike lock or anything. There's nothing. You need to keep it in the house or in
This
the
is
garage.
just infuriating because Brad does so many nice things for so many people, and he does not deserve this.
So I don't know. Go look at our Twitter and see the picture of the bike, and if you happen to see it or you have any idea what's going on with, DM one of us, and we'll see if we can help him out. But
boo!
He loved that bike too.
Yeah.
Great. All right, it is the road to the road home, and the Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers once again stepping up big time to help out with physical donations. They are more than happy to take your physical donations at a location near you, because there is one near you. I'm looking at the list of them here, and there's one easily near you.
You know, we started doing this because the road home provides services for all up and down the Wasatch Front, and we, for years, would just do our road home broadcast in Salt Lake, and we would just stay there. And we heard from people saying, hey, I would love to help out, but I live in Utah County or Weber County, and so we partnered many years ago with Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers, and they've been a great partner in this road to the road home, saying, hey, we've got locations all over, why don't we make it easier for people to donate?
It's great, too, at the second day of the broadcast at the road home, they caravan all these trucks full of stuff, Silverados full of stuff up to the shelter. It's very, it's festive in a way. Very nice.
So, your physical donations. Of course, the money's easy to do. You just go to x96.com and make a financial donation, and that's always really good because the road home has connections that you don't. And they can make your dollar go further than you will. But if you want to donate physical stuff, here's some of the things that we're needing. Cold weather clothing, of course, shampoo and conditioner, towels, laundry detergent, 5 to 6 size diapers, new underwear, all sizes, adults and kids. Let's see, what else do we need? Men's shoes and boots, men's pants. Oh, I've got a bunch of Levi's that I need to bring up. Shampoo, conditioner, lotion, razors, women's underwear, men's underwear, chapstick.
It's a simple thing.
Yeah.
Is that all you can do? But it'll help somebody.
Incontinence diapers are also needed. So any of those items, like I said, you just pick up some stuff extra while you're shopping this weekend and drop it off at a Rocky Mountain Chevy dealer near you. Next week, 1 week from today, we will be doing this again, broadcasting live from, Riverton Chevrolet in South Jordan. It's in the South Jordan Gateway, 6 to 10 a.m., 1 week from today. So if you're in that area, start making your preparations to come join us.
Will there be donuts? I now have an expectation of donuts.
I don't know.
You are really all about helping people, aren't you?
I am. An expectation of donuts.
I was told there would be donuts.
Well, because I never buy a donut. The only donut I ever have is when it's offered somewhere. You ought
to go crazy. Buy a donut.
Just go buy a donut.
Just be nuts.
Can
and
you
buy
do
it.
that?
Yeah, sure.
Just go buy it because I feel like it doesn't count if I didn't buy it. Well,
go to the Harmons.
Go
to where the donuts are. Look down on the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
Dunford chocolate. Have one, freeze the rest.
Oh.
You'll thank me.
And then how do you unfreeze them? You put them in the microwave?
You just set them out on the counter for an hour or so.
Yeah.
You put them in little sandwich bags.
Well, I didn't know if you.
How do you unfreeze them?
I didn't know if they needed.
I don't know.
Microwave.
If you leave them sitting out, they just will stay frozen.
You could either sit them out on the counter, put them in a little sandwich bag and then put them in the freezer.
Okay.
But you could leave them out on the counter, or I suppose if you'd want, you could warm them up to get a nice hot.
Yeah, because that kind of sounds good.
Just put it in the toaster oven, not a fairly moderate heat.
Or do what I do: bowl of Count Chocula, Dunford donut on top.
You can't do that.
I've not done that, but I just thought of it, and it sounded great.
I've found
a little
that
Kahlua over the top.
I've found that if you take your frozen donut out of the refrigerator and sit on it for a few minutes,
it's just the right temperature.
You bet. It thaws quickly.
Let's see. Just checking to see if we missed any news before we go.
Oh, I believe they might have announced the.
Did they?
The Olympics?
The Olympics.
The Olympics?
The Olympics already?
Let's see. Yes.
Double check, and then we'll do the promo and get out of here.
Let's see. Ryan Smith, owner of the Jazz, says 2034. There's nowhere like Utah for hosting the Winter Olympics. Best snow on earth, incredible facilities, amazing community of people. So it sounds like
that's him rooting for it.
That's him saying.
But he specifically said 2034.
Well, because no one applied for 2034, and we all agreed that 2034 would be best, so we could work on the infrastructure, and then.
Well, that's.
So that's not a yes or no yet.
We'll see.
All right. Let's do the promo. It's time for me to hit the road.
Toad?
Yeah. Jack.
All right. Let's do the promo then. Well, we survived Utah County this morning.
Big thank you to all the friends of the program who showed up with much-needed items for the road home.
Our next stop will be next Wednesday at Riverton Chevrolet.
That's next week. What are we doing on tomorrow's Radio from Hell show?
Well, I've invited a very special guest. Our consultant will be in studio to fix everything that's wrong with the show.
I didn't agree to this.
Neither did I.
Fixing everything that's wrong with Radio from Hell, Thursday morning here on X96.
It's true, our consultant.
It really is. He's in town, and I did invite him to be on the show.
And this isn't a bit, by the way.
No.
This isn't going to be like Bill doing the voice of a
No.
consultant. This is like an actual guy.
This is our real consultant. His name is Tim. We call him the Mighty Tim.
There are those who call him Tim.
Tim.
Right. Let's see. All right, then. Well, let's, I guess we're done.
Shall we sashay away?
Let's crawl towards the exits. Fine job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I... Look at this. Best Utah. That's who I am.
I didn't agree to this.
Marcy is next.